Hi, I'm Chuck Colson with this week's 2-Minute Warning. 44 years ago, the Kerner Commission warned that the United States was becoming two separate and unequal societies. The division the Commission had in mind was the one between black and white. Today, a similar division has emerged, but not along racial lines. And that divide is the subject of a new book, a controversial one indeed, by Charles Murray of the American Enterprise Institute. He describes how America is coming apart. The great dividing line isn't economic inequality, no matter what the Occupy movement would have us believe. What Murray describes is cultural inequality. And to illustrate this, he creates two fictional, largely white communities: Belmont, based on the upper middle class suburbs around Boston, and Fishtown, based on working class neighborhoods in Philadelphia. Belmont has always been richer than Fishtown, and on the average, its residents have been better educated. Yet despite these differences, these communities traditionally shared similar cultural values. 50 years ago, for example, 94% of the people in Belmont and 84% of the people in Fishtown were married. Today, while 83% of those in Belmont are married, only 48% of those in Fishtown are. Remarkable. Today, while 6% of births in Belmont are to unmarried mothers, 44% of those in Fishtown are. Then there's the subject of religion. Contrary to popular belief, middle to upper middle class Americans are more likely to attend religious services on a regular basis than working class Americans. Astonishing. As Murray points out, these divergences put upper and lower class communities into different cultures. Now, it's no coincidence that Fishtown's cultural decline has been accompanied by the advance of secularism in America. The cultural values that used to be shared across socioeconomic lines were the product of Christian belief. The idea that we were responsible for our own behavior, that hard work is honorable, that we care for our neighbors. These beliefs have been under consistent assault. Started with the rise of the Great Society in the 1960s. The urban working poor of Fishtown were told that they were simply victims of their environment, and the government would take care of them. Government would provide benefits to them. Now, this kind of utopian nonsense denies the reality of the fall and undermines personal and familial responsibility. And it fosters the entitlement mentality that you're entitled to something. So the loss of work and family ethic has taken its greatest toll among the working poor. Come to colsoncenter.org and we'll link you to an article by Murray on this. While Murray is rightly concerned about what all this means for America, the best he can come up with by way of a solution is for the residents of Belmont to move to Fishtown. Well, that's not going to happen. What can and must happen, however, is for Christians to make the case for faith, personal responsibility, and a better way of life. And I say we start by rebuilding a culture of marriage, because no society has ever survived without a strong marriage culture. Yet for many in our society, cohabitation, easy divorce, and now so-called gay marriage have stripped marriage of its meaning. Folks, we got to get off the sidelines. If America indeed comes apart, don't let it be said we watched and said nothing. The best response to destructive ways of life based on lies is to live lives based on the truth. And it's up to us, you and I, to make sure the truth is heard and seen in our jobs, in our churches, in our families, and in our marriages. This week's 2-Minute Warning, I'm Chuck Colson.